through the abstract class and through the interface. Okay, but we can say through interface we can achieve 100% abstraction, and through abstract class we can achieve 0 to 100%. Okay, so can anybody say why I have written like this? Okay, let's take one example. So the example is, I'll take one example of car. Okay, so one class is car. I'm not properly writing it syntax wise. I'm just giving you one example. So this is one car class. So this car class is having one is your number of tires. Okay. Another method it is having, let's say start method. Okay. So in start method, I'll write system.out.println. So this whiteboard is visible to you, na?
Yes, ma'am.
So it starts with key. Okay. So in one class, not in this semester, in one class I explained 1 hour on one problem. After that, one student asked, so when I asked the question, what I'll write here, then they are asking me, ma'am, where? Okay, means 1 hour I am explaining using whiteboard and they are not able to see that whiteboard, and I came to know after 1 hour. So this type of interest they are showing. Okay. So number of tires, then your start method. So next I will take another class, that is your let's say class scooter. Okay. So in scooter also it can have that feature or attribute number of tires. Okay. Then also it can have the start method. Okay. So here I'll write system.out.println starts with kick. Okay. Like this. So here you can see two classes are there, and both the classes are having same data member. Okay, number of tires, this is also having number of tires, this is having start method, and this is also having start method. Okay, so what we can do, if two classes are having the same data member and the same method, so we can achieve abstraction. Okay, so we can achieve abstraction using another class which only provide you the data member. So here number of tires is your 4, here number of tires is your 2. Okay, values are different. Okay, so here we can suppose we want abstraction. Okay, so how we can achieve this abstraction? You can use another class, and that class only provide you that attribute and that method, but it doesn't give you the implementation details. means how many tires how many tires are there, or how you can start. So all those implementation details will be hidden. So how we can achieve abstraction? So for that we can use another class, that let's say that class vehicle. The class vehicle. So that class contains only the attribute number of tires. Okay. Then start method. Okay. So here this class provides you the abstraction, means how many tires, that it doesn't provide. How to start, that it doesn't provide. Means start method body is not there. How many tires, that value is not there. So we can say this implementation details are not there. That is hidden. So that is called your abstraction. Okay. So here this type of abstraction is your 100% abstraction, because no this method doesn't have any body and this is doesn't have any value. But in case of your, if so, for that, so provide this abstraction, either we can use interface or you can use abstract class. So when we are, so first we'll come to this abstract class. Okay. So understood abstraction. Abstraction means so here it is written start with key. Here it is start with key. Here number of tires is 4. Number of tires is 2. So implementation details are there. So car and this scooter class is not providing you the abstraction, but this vehicle class is providing you the abstraction, because we don't know the number of tires, that is not provided. How to start, that is also not provided, means the body part is not provided. So vehicle class is one abstract class, or it provides you the abstraction. Now in syntactically how to define the abstract class, that we'll see. The same thing we'll implement now. So what you have to do for providing the abstraction, you have to, for using the abstract class, we'll see. So you have to use the keyword abstract. Okay. Then class vehicle. Then we'll write int number of tires. Then we'll write if you want to make one method abstract, then you have to write this abstract keyword with that method. Okay. So a method without body is known as your abstract method. Okay. So abstract method must be inside your abstract class. So abstract class, it is not that abstract class only contains the abstract method. Abstract class may contain the abstract method and may contain the concrete method. Concrete method means methods with body. So that's why we are saying through the abstract class you may achieve from 0 to 100. If your abstract class contains only the abstract methods, that means we are achieving 100% abstraction. But if your abstract class contains abstract methods along with the concrete methods, then we can say it is 100% abstraction. So that's why in case of your abstract class, I have written the abstraction we can achieve in the range 0 to 100%. So that abstract class also you may write only concrete methods like that. Okay. So means if you are writing abstract method means you have to make this class abstract. Okay. The next is that car class and that scooter class, how they will how they can use this abstract class method. So for that you can use right class car. Here you have to use keyword extends. Okay, vehicle. So void start. Then your system.out.println starts with key. In class scooter, extends the vehicle. But then you can write your main method to call this public static void main. Okay, in short I am writing here, you don't write like this. So public static void main. Then another thing, it can't instantiate one abstract class. Okay, you can't create object of an abstract class. You may declare the reference variable of the abstract class, but you can't create. Means I can write vehicle v equal to new vehicle. Okay, so this one I can do. So I cannot create the object v. Okay, so abstract class can't be instantiated, but you can declare the reference variable. Reference variable means I can write like this: vehicle. So only declaration of that class variable is the reference variable. So now the vehicle v is the reference. So I can write here vehicle v equal to new car. In this way I can write. Okay. But I can't write vehicle v equal to new vehicle. So that I can't write. So either you write this way or simply we can create, declare the reference of car class and we will write them. So car.
And we use constructors for abstract class?
No, what is the use of that? Okay. If you can't create the object for that, then why you will use the constructor of that? Okay. So car C equal to new car. then C dot start. Similarly, you can create scooter is equal to new scooter. Then S dot start. So this way you can achieve abstraction. So this is your one example of an abstract class. So through inheritance, through this extend keyword, we can. So now this, so here we have written the start method. Now we are using this same start method in this class card and the same start method in class footer. So this is called your, this concept is called your overriding. Okay. So the abstract methods defined in your abstract class that we are again writing or defining it in the derived classes. Okay, so method with same name, same signature and defined in the child classes are called your that technique is called your overriding, method overriding. Okay, so here we are doing this method overriding. Let's implement this one. So you implement this one. You just implement this program. Execute this one. Okay, so you see, simply I am writing here without declaring this start method as abstract method. Okay, so what it is showing means here simply I have declared like this. So what it is showing, as this is the start method doesn't have any body. So what it is writing here, error, change abstract vehicle start to abstract. Okay, that means you have to make this class as the abstract class. This is only name. This is not, don't confuse this is not the keyword here. I have simply write the class name abstract vehicle. So it is saying that you have to make this class as the abstract class. Okay. So then next error, change abstract vehicle, this one. Okay. So you have to make it abstract. So now there is no error. Okay. So next you have to extend the classes. नमस्कार. Anybody not muted his microphone? You execute. Done.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you show this code 1 second?
Then,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So, what are the things we have to remember? The things we have to remember is that if a method without, if a writing a method without body means with no implementation details means that is called your abstract method. Okay. And if a class has an abstract method means it should be declared abstract as well. Okay. If a class like vehicle class is containing one abstract method means you have to make that class as the abstract, otherwise it will show you compile time error. So, and another thing, your abstract class may contain concrete methods also, means method with body. So that's why we are saying it is not 100% abstraction. So that range is there. So if a concrete class extends an abstract class, that means the class must have to implement all the abstract methods. Okay, means implement means that you have to override those methods, or otherwise if you have to declare that class as well abstract. If you are not overriding, like here class car, and you are not overriding the start method, then again you have to declare that one also as abstract. That's why you have to override those methods. So if you don't override, you can see if I'll put semicolon over here and I'll just comment all those, then it will show you compile time error. It will show you to make that one also abstract. Okay, you see. Implement this method requires a body instead of what is written there. Yes, first thing is to change it to abstract and void start this one to abstract, and another thing it is writing this method requires a body instead of a semicolon. Okay, so it's saying either you make it abstract or you define the body. Okay. And another thing is that abstract classes cannot be instantiated. Okay, you can't create object, but you can create references. Like here I have written vehicle V, so that is one reference, but you can write vehicle V equal to new vehicle. So object you can create. Either you write this way or you can write directly that class name car C equal to new car. This one you can do. And here you have to use the object C. Okay. Yes. This is about your abstract class. So through the abstract class we can achieve abstraction in this way. Similarly, another concept is your interface. Okay. So what is this interface? Interfaces are similar to your abstract class. Okay. Interface is also one abstract class, but it have all the methods of abstract type. Okay, so in case of your abstract class, we are having concrete methods and also abstract methods. We can have both type of methods, but your interface can have only the abstract methods. So that's why we are saying that through interface we can achieve 100% abstraction. Okay. So interface are similar to yours. Shall I write or you just listen or remember? I'm writing. But having all the methods, of first type. Okay. So we can say interface is a blueprint of class. Means it tells the class what to do. Okay. Oh, interface blueprint of class. And also, like an abstract class, we can't instantiate interface also. Okay. Can't instantiate. Then what is the use? What is the advantage of these interfaces? Interface. So first one is to achieve abstraction. Okay. To achieve abstraction. Second is that in Java doesn't support your multiple inheritance, but through interface we can achieve this multiple inheritance. Okay, it supports multiple inheritance. And another thing can be used to achieve loose coupling. Okay, so loose coupling. So what do you mean by, so first thing you understood, to achieve abstraction, how to achieve abstraction, that you know. Then it supports multiple inheritance. How we can achieve multiple inheritance, that we'll see through one example. Then it can be used to achieve multiple inheritance, means multiple base class. Okay, so this is one base class, this is another base class, and from this base class one class is derived. So this is one multiple inheritance. So this is not supported in Java, but through the interface we can achieve this one. Third one is there, we can achieve loose coupling. So loose coupling means what? Loose coupling means this is means two classes are not interdependent. Okay, so coupling means the degree of dependency. Okay, so degree of dependency means, suppose like in this previous example, okay, we are having that scooter class and car class. Okay, so if you are making changes in that car class start method, it doesn't affect your scooter class start method. Okay, so they are individual. They are overridden. So dependency is low. So loosely coupled. Okay, so that is called loosely coupled. So through this interface, we can achieve loose coupling. So we can define loose coupling like loose coupling is nothing but one design goal. Okay, so this we can say this is one design goal that seeks to reduce the interdependencies between components of a system. Okay, so why we do so? To reduce the risk that changes in one component will require changes in other component. Okay, to reduce the risk of changing or changes in one component will require the change in other component. Okay, so that risk is reduced using this interface or using this abstraction in abstract class also or in your interface also. But in abstract class we have some concrete method. So, but in case of your interface we don't have any concrete method. So we achieve more loose coupling in your interface than your abstract abstract class. So by doing this, it increases the flexibility of the system. Okay, understood loose coupling. If you change in one class, it doesn't require the change in other class. Okay, because they are individual existence as they are just overriding those methods. So these are the advantages, or you can say the use of interface. So how to define the interface? What is the syntax for declaring the interface? So whatever I am writing, I'm not writing much. So whatever I am writing, just note down this. Okay. So I'm erasing all this. The syntax is you have to use the keyword interface. Then you have to use the interface name. Let's say I'll write the interface name I1. Interface 1. Okay. Then next is you have to write some abstract methods. So if I'll write simply void show, so by default these methods are public abstract. Okay, if you are writing simply void show, so automatically compiler will add here public abstract. Okay, so either you can explicitly write it public abstract, or compiler will do that. Okay, no need to write. So the actual signature of this method is public abstract void show. Okay, so these two keywords you may write, you may not write. If you don't write, then a compiler will write this for you. Means it will not show you, but internally it will treat this void show as your public abstract method. Similarly, if you are declaring any data member, like if you write like this int a, okay, so default will be your public static final. Simply if you are writing int a, that means it is your public static final. Okay. So next, actually
Ma'am, can you
your
just explain this line?
yes, which one? Public static final int A?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So public static final int A. So default you have to, as we are overriding these methods or these data members in other classes. Okay. So that's why you have to make it public. First thing. Second thing is that in case of your int A, okay, so here whatever the data members we are taking, that must be static. Okay, that must be static. Static means what? Static means one copy we are creating. Okay, so as in this case, we are not instantiating this interface. So when we instantiate, that data member will be copy of, suppose you are creating one object of the class and that class is having one data member, then each object contains that data member. But here we are not instantiating this interface. So that's why we are making it static, so that so we can create the object. So simply it is one copy of that data member will be created, and that would be accessible by the other classes. Okay, so for that reason it is static. Then what is this final? Final means what?
It's a keyword.
It's a keyword. So what is this final? Anyone can say?
It can be initiated only once.
Yes. Any other answer?
For blank variable.
For?
Blank variable.
Yes, very good. Okay. So final keyword actually it restrict the user. Okay. So this final keyword you can apply with the variables, or you can also apply with the methods. You can apply with the classes also. Okay. So when you don't have, if you that variable doesn't have any value, we can called as blank variable, and that we have to declare as the final variable. That is your uninitialized final variable. Okay. So for that reason, you have to declare this one as public static final with this variable int A. So if you want to initialize this one, okay, if you want to initialize this one once, final variable you can't initialize, but if you want to initialize this one, then you have to declare with this keyword static. So that's why this static keyword is used. Okay, so I can write here public static final int A equal to some value I can give here. So you just initialize it once. Okay. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So next is, okay, so what I told you that interface, whatever the methods you are writing in an interface, that are all abstract method, purely abstract methods. So your interface doesn't contain any concrete methods. But in Java 8, okay, you can create some concrete methods. But okay, you can have some methods with body in case in your interface also. That is after this Java 8 version. Before that, you can put any concrete method inside the interface, but after this Java 8, you can put the concrete methods. But when you are declaring that concrete method, you have to use the access specifier of that method as default. Okay, I can write here. I can write here void display. But simply if you write void display in the body of this one, then it will show you error. So you have to use the keyword default. Okay. If you make the method default, then you can write the code for it. Means you can have the concrete method. Similarly, you can have the static concrete method also. Okay. For that, you can have to write public static void, let's say show. Show is already there, na? Mother method name. Run. So after Java 8 version, you can Java 8 onwards. It provides this. So you can have concrete methods in interface with this default access specifier, and you can have this public static methods for concrete methods. And another things, private methods are not allowed in interface, but after Java version 9, so you can have also private methods. Okay, these are some features added in interfaces. One is, so initially it doesn't contain any concrete method, but after Java 8 version, you can have this default default methods as concrete and static methods as concrete, and also you can have the private methods. Okay. So we'll write one example of that. Interface So while you are using these interface methods in other classes, you have to implement the interface. In case of an abstract class, we are just extending it with using extend keyword. Here you have to use the keyword implements. Okay. So class test implements interface 1. I have taken the name. Then whatever the signature of this, that the same you have to write here. Public void show. Then the first system.out.println. Just print something. It's the one. Okay. Then we just write public static void main. Okay. Then I write test t equal to new test. Then t dot show. So this way you can do. Now another thing I told you that through interface you can achieve multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance means here this class test can have the property of this interface I1, and also I can write another interface. So two base class, one derived class. So for that I can define another interface. Sorry. To and I'll write here void show it again, void display. Okay, so when I write, so here what change you have to write, you have to write here class test implements I1 then comma I2. Okay, I1 comma I2. So what you have to do, like you have defined here show method, similarly here you have to define the display method or override the display method. So okay, so now you can write t dot show. Also you can write t dot display. So this way, this test class acquires the property of this I1 class or I1 interface and I2 interface. So the structure is like this: I1 interface, I2 interface, and those two, and this is your test class. So through this we can achieve this multiple inheritance. Okay, so you execute this program.
Yes, ma'am. Can you say one more time about the default part?
Which part?
Default.
Default. Okay.
Means we have to
So
while static
if you want to if you want the concrete method inside your interface, then you have to make that method as default. Okay, there is four access specifiers are there: public, private, protected. Another one is your default. So if you want to keep any concrete method inside your interface, then you have to make it default. You have to write the access specifier as default.
Ma'am, can you code it and so?
So the code I have written, you just execute it.
Yes, ma'am. This one is done, but that default part.
A default part also you just write it. So you just write any other method here. You just write some other method like here we have written show display. So you can write any method like default. I'll execute, you also execute. Default void run. And you write their code. Something you write there. And see. Okay. In that, inside that interface, you just declare one abstract method and also one concrete method. So while you are writing concrete method, you have to use the access specifier default.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, how to call it?
Then using this default method, you can call it. So as this is one concrete method, okay, you have to call it. Just a second. Okay, I'll execute it and I'll show you. So I'll write. Just a second. Am I audible? I was disconnected. I even don't know. Okay. So many things I explained. So when you are, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you are simply like which class is implementing that interface through that class object, you will call those default methods. Okay. So here in this example, we are test class implements this I1 interface, and this I1 interface is having that run method. So through that test T new test na, so T dot that run method. So this way you can call it.
And the screen is not visible.
My screen is not visible. Yes. Just a second. It's slow, little bit slow. Just a second. Just this is now visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why your voice is echoing? Okay. So here default void run method. So here you have written test T new test. So using this object, you can call this method also, because this class is implementing this interface. So as we can't instantiate the interface through this class object, you can call this default method. So you can write here T dot run. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So you execute it. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You do another thing. Default you declared. Now you declare the static method, static concrete method inside this interface I1 or I2 in any interface. You just declare it. Just write static void any method name. Static
Static void any
message.
name.
Let's say method name message.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Then how to call simply?
So that is your task. Try to call with this object T. Called it.
We have to call it simply, static void method name. Then
You just write. You have to define the body of that. That's why we are making it static. Static void message. Let's say the name. Just a second. You just write like this. In interface 1 or interface 2, in any interface, you just write static void. Let's say that method name is message. Okay. And there I just write system.out.println. Let's say it is hello. Okay. So you define it inside any one of the interface. Now you call this message. Done.
no, ma'am, it's showing error.
With T.
Yes, ma'am, with T.
So in which interface you have defined this message method?
First one.
I1. So you just write I1 dot message.
Yes, ma'am, it's executed.
Now it is showing the output.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay. So as it is the static method, static methods are the methods of the classes. Okay. So in normal case, in complete classes, it also allow to call the static. Actually, according to its definition, static methods you can call through its class name. But as versions, it depends upon the different versions. So we can call also with the object name. Actually, with the class name, we should call the static method, but with the objects also, the object also you can call the static method. But in this case, as it is the interface and we are defining inside this, so we can't call through the object of this interface. Okay, so through this interface name, we can call this static method. So to call this static method, you have to use the interface name in which it is defined. Okay, understood?
I mean, static, we can also call it directly.
So you directly call?
Directly showing error if we call
Yes.
directly.
Yes. So here you have to call with the interface name. Okay.
Okay.
So all of you have executed.
Yes.
You just share your screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. From starting, you just show. As my Eclipse is going little bit slow, so that's why I'm not typing there. And also, well, I am executing, my system is hanging, so that's why I'm not showing you. So you just show from the starting. Those I have not written, you just see it. So first you see this is the one interface, interface A, and this interface contains this method, show method, and one default concrete method run, another concrete method, static method task. Okay. So inside this run method, hi is written. Inside this task method, hello is written. So now close your first interface, interface A. Okay. Now the second interface, it is interface Z, and it contains one abstract method display. Then the class B. This implements these two interfaces A and Z, and this show method is the abstract method which is overridden here, and this display is also abstract method of the second interface, means the Z interface, that is also overridden here. Next is we have to call these methods. So how to call? You have to create the object of this class B, then name object. Through the name object you call all those methods, show method, display method, along with that default method. But while you are calling this static method task, you have to use the interface name. Through the interface name you have to call this static method task. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you have executed? Okay, Siddhant. Okay, Siddhant, you do one thing. You just write NM. Okay, you have. Okay. So, all of you have executed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What I will write?
I have to write nm.task. Yes. To show the error. Okay. So can't find symbol nm. So this type of error it is showing, and simply task nm. Okay. So you can't call like this, so you have to use the interface name. Okay. Okay, stop sharing. So about the interface also I have slides. All those things I explained already. So an interface is an abstract class that is used to group related methods with empty bodies. Okay. To access interface methods, you have to use the keyword implements. So it cannot be used to create object. It does not have a body. Then interface methods are by default abstract public. So all the things I explained to you. So this is another example. interface animal. So this contains two.
Ma'am, your screen.
Screen is not visible.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I stopped sharing when you are sharing. Okay. Okay, so this is one example, interface animal. So this contain two methods, and this cow class implementing this animal, and you can see this animal food. So this one contains cow eats grass, sleep for 2 hours. Then main method, inside the main method we are creating the object of cow class, and we are calling both the methods. The same type of example. So for multiple interface, first interface, second interface, then this demo class implement these two interfaces. How to write these two interfaces? So you have to separate it by comma. Then you have to override these two methods. First interface contains my method. Second interface contains my other method. So you have to override my method and also my other method. Then you create the object of this concrete class demo class, my object. Then you call these two methods. So that is the same as your previous program I have shown to you. So one class can extend a class and can implement any number of interfaces. Okay. So you can see here is interface 1, class 2. So class 3 extends your class 2 and implements your class 1. So at the same time we can extend, also we can implement. In the same line you can see class 3 extends 2. Okay, inherits this 2 and implements 1, means implementing this interface. So now what is the difference between these two keywords, extends and implements? So in case of inheritance, we are using this extends. Okay, by using extends keyword, a class can inherit another class, or an interface can inherit other interface also. In case of interface, one interface I1 extends I2, that also you can write. Implements, by using implements keyword, a class can implement an interface. Okay. It is not compulsory that subclass that extends a superclass override all the methods in a superclass. Okay. When we are using, I'm telling about the extends, not, you don't confuse with the abstract. It is, in case of your extends, it is not compulsory that subclass that extends a superclass override all the methods in the superclass. Let's say in case of your inheritance, the superclass or the base class contains 3 methods. So it is not compulsory that all the 3 methods you have to override. In case of abstract class, you have to override, but in case of normal class, it is not compulsory to override all the classes of the superclass. But while you are implementing, implement means you are using interface. So in that case, it is compulsory to override those methods of the interface. So in case of your implements, it is compulsory that class implementing an interface has to implement all the methods of that interface. Okay. यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है कि हमेशा abstract class होगा, पर implement यूज हो गया मतलब यहाँ पे interface है, तो interface है तो उसका method जो है उसको override करना पड़ेगा. Then extends, only one superclass can be extended by a class. But in case of an implement, a class can implement any number of an interface at a time. Then any number of interfaces can be extended by another interface, an interface can never implement any other interface. One interface can extend another interface, but one interface can't implement another interface. Class implements interface. इंटरफेस और एक इंटरफेस को इम्प्लीमेंट करेगा, इसका मतलब क्या बना? क्लास implement करे, so class will implement so that you can override the method. So interface, if implement, then interface can't override. Okay, so that's why the meaning is this line is written in this way. An interface can never implement any other interface. Okay, so this is all about your abstract class interface and about this extend and implements keyword. Okay. So what are the benefits of abstractions? A few things I told you. So rest of the things you have to read. Okay, read and you have to point out all those advantages. The next is concept is your inheritance. So here before discussing inheritance, here we'll take 10 minutes of break. Okay, 240 to 250.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so all are present now.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So your next uh, object-oriented programming principle is your inheritance. So inheritance, so it is nothing but inheriting the properties of parent class to child class. Okay, inheriting the properties of parent class to child class. So why we go for this inheritance? What are the advantage of inheritance? That you know code reusability. Okay, once you define the code, whatever the suppose one method is defined in your parent class, so simply inheriting by using the extend keyword, you can use the parent class method. No need to write that code again. Okay, so that is your code reusability. Similarly, as we are doing code reusability, it reduces the redundancy, means that duplicacy it reduces. But one disadvantage of inheritance is that is we can say it is tightly coupled. In case of interface, I told you it is loosely coupled. Okay, but in case of your inheritance, it is tightly coupled. Coupling means what? Coupling means the degree of dependency. So in case of your interface, the degree of dependency is very low. Okay, we are just overriding the method. So if you override in one method, that doesn't affect the other class method. Okay, but in case of your inheritance, whatever change you will do in your parent class, that automatically affect your child class. Okay, so there is a bonding between the classes. Okay, so it is tightly coupled. So as there is a risk of changing in one class, that will affect the other class. So that's why we can say this is one disadvantage of inheritance. Okay, so that is your tightly coupled. So in classes, there are different types of relationship between the classes. One relation we make through inheritance. That relationship is called your is a relationship. Okay, just a second. Okay, so in Java, there are relationship between classes. Okay, so one relationship we achieve through the inheritance, that is called your integer relationship. So first we discuss this relationship. Uh, relationship between classes. Okay, so if there is a class A and there is another class B, then we can establish the relationship among these two classes. So one, you know, that is your inheritance. So what are the types of relationship? So one is a relationship. Another one is has a relationship. Okay. So is a relationship you can achieve through inheritance. And has a relationship we can achieve through association. Okay. See, in this chapter mainly we are discussing the concept. Okay, in program wise we are not doing so much. First, this chapter only concept contains the concept. What are the object oriented means common properties? What are the object oriented programming principles? What are the concept? So that we are discussing. Then we'll go through the program, and in the program we'll discuss. Every bit whatever keyword we'll use from that. So I'll explain about the static class, static method, static so that will take one class. Okay, so in every concept we'll discuss in detail when we go purely to the Java program. Only we are discussing what are the in Java, how we are achieving. So in the Hajj association again and agree. Another measure. Okay. So now see uh, vehicle, then car class extends vehicle, then we can say that car is a vehicle. If I'll write here class vehicle, and here I'll write class car extends vehicle. So what relation we can say? We can say car is a vehicle. Okay. So through inheritance we can achieve this is-a relationship. Now what is this association? Association can you give example of association? So if I'll declare here class, let's say student, okay. Then I'll write here string name, then your int role. Okay. So I can say student has a name. Okay. Then student has a roll number. Okay. So this is has a relationship. Similarly, has a relationship. So here this is relationship between this class and the members. We can also achieve this association relationship among the classes between two classes. So how we can associate it? class, let's say class engine. Okay. And then I'll write class car. Okay. So how can establish this association among this engine and this car class? If I'll create engine E, if I'll create one object of this engine class inside this car class, then we can put the association relationship among these two. Okay. Then I can write car has engine. Okay, car has a engine. So this way we can put association among these two classes. Okay. Now again, this association is of two types. What is that? One is your aggregation, another one is your composition. So in case of your aggregation, the relationship among those classes are they are having weak bonding. Okay, weak relationship. And in case of your composition, those classes are having strong or strong relationship or strong bonding. Okay, so how weak bonding, how strong bonding? See, for example, uh, same example, you take this car class, okay, or one car object, you just think real world car. So that a car is having music player. Okay, that car is having music player, but we can say without car, without but music player is having its individual existence and car is having its individual existence. Okay, your car contains the music player, but the music player individual is having existence, car is having individual existence, yes or no? So if you don't fit music player inside your car, without that music player also your car can run. Okay, or without the car also you can play music player. So there is the relationship between this car and music player is weak bonding. They are having the weak bonding. So that is called your aggregation. Okay. And in case composition, let's say car and the engine. Okay, the relationship between the car and the engine. So without engine, car can't exist. Without car, that specific engine can't exist. Okay. कार के लिए जो इंजन बना है वो स्पेसिफिक उसी कार के लिए बना है. तो कार से अगर इंजन निकाल दोगे, कार का कोई मतलब नहीं है और इंजन का भी कोई मतलब नहीं है. ओके, सो बोथ आर tightly coupled. Okay, without engine, car can't exist. Without car, engine can't exist. So that is your composition. Okay, so the relationship between these two classes are strong, or they are having strong bonding. So aggregation, weak bonding; composition, strong bonding. Okay. Similarly, for example, if you take college class and college consists of professors or teachers. College also consists of branches. Okay, so can you tell me between college and professor which relationship exists, aggregation or composition?
Composition.
College and teacher, composition.
Oh no, ma'am. Aggregation, ma'am.
Okay, so without college also teacher can have their own profession. Okay, so it is not mandatory that without the college teachers can't exist. So, and the relationship between branches and college, like computer science, civil, IT, that branches and college.
And composition.
Yes, composition. So without college, how we can say there is computer science? So where is computer science branch? College नहीं है तो किसके अंदर computer science branch है? Okay. So bonding between or the relationship between college and branch is your composition, and relationship between college and professor is aggregation. Okay. So that is two different type of Hajar relationship. Okay. So first thing, easier relationship through this inheritance, Hajar relationship through this association. Again, this association is divided into two types. One is your aggregation, another one is your composition. Okay, so now come to your inheritance. So inheritance, you know, that example already we have seen in case of your abstract methods and interfaces. So class, so in your book one example is given. It is your class tutor. Okay, there is another class science tutor. So science tutor class is extending this tutor class. Okay, that means tutor is the base class and or parent class, and this science tutor is the child class or the derived class. So this class tutor is having two data members. One is your designate, another one is your academy name. Okay, and one method is there, performs. So while this science tutor extends this tutor class, that means by default, so these two classes or these all these members are derived to this science tutor class. Means science tutor now acquire the property of this tutor class. So science tutor can use designate, can use academy name, can use perform. Okay, so how to use it? So simply create the science tutor this child class object. Through the child class object, you can access all these members and methods. So you can see child class object is here. Where is that? It's again this science tutor class has its own member, that is the subject, and it can access this designate through the object of the science tutor obj, and it is using obj dot designate, obj dot academy name, which are the members of this parent class, and obj dot subject is its own member, means science tutor class member. Now how to access this perform methods? With this same object obj dot perform. So this is one example how the child class is accessing parent class properties. Okay, so in inheritance other rules or other things are there. So we just see how we simple example how we can implement the inheritance concept in Java language. So advantages are there. So these tasks are on you. So you have to read all those advantages. Okay. The same thing is written. It allows us to derive further classes. This creates a reusable model that I told you, that code reusability. Okay. Reusable model where we never change the existing classes, which improves the software development time required for program execution. Okay, the derived class generates an extended set of properties. So all these things that you read by yourself. Okay, it is possible to override methods, which is excellent for defining empty methods. Okay, so these things you. So next is your polymorphism concept. So polymorphism concept, poly means poly means many and morphism means forms. Okay, so how your object-oriented programming or Java implements this polymorphism? Polymorphism can be achieved through two ways. Okay, one is your overriding, another one is your overloading. Okay, polymorphism can be achieved in two ways. One is your overriding, another one is your overloading. So overriding, for overriding, what are the conditions? For overriding, the conditions are the signature must be same in the parent class, also in the child class. Means same name, but they are in different classes. Okay, while you are overriding, the method name is same, but they should be in different classes. Same class में नहीं होते, different class में. So different classes, and they follow not. They follow not means NOT. Number of arguments must be same. Type of order of argument must be same. Type of argument must be same. Okay. So if those methods, suppose one method you want to override and it contains some arguments, let's say it contains int a double b. So the class which is overriding that method, that must contain those two arguments. Number of arguments must be same. Type of argument must be same. Order of argument must be same. Means first one should be int, second one should be double. So first thing, same name in different class and same number of argument, same order means same sequence and same type. And in case of while we are doing inheritance, we are just overriding it. Okay. And next is your overloading. So overriding example already we have seen, and overloading. So overloading means in the same class with same name, but it should not follow that NOT. Okay, means number of argument, type of first thing, type of argument must be different. Okay, number of argument must be different. Suppose one class, let's say you want to find out area. Okay, the method name is area. So that two classes contains that same class. Let's say one class sample, that class sample contains three methods with the same name area. Okay, if it is having same three methods with the same name, then the number of arguments must be different. Okay, one may contain one argument, one may contain two argument, and another may contain three argument. If it is containing same number of argument, then their types should be different. Suppose one is containing integer type, other must contain character type or double type, like that. Okay, if same number of argument means it should contain different type of argument. Okay, so means the parameter or the argument we are passing, that must not same with other overloaded methods. Okay, अगर एरिया सर्कल का निकाल रहे हो तो एक आर्गुमेंट ए चाहिए, अगर एरिया रेक्टेंगल का निकाल रहे हो तो दो आर्गुमेंट चाहिए. So there are different number of arguments we require. So name should be same, but type of argument, number of argument, that must be different. That is your method overloading. So one method, okay, method name, one method name, but their tasks are different. So one thing but many form. So that is your polymorphism. Example. So your overriding is called your runtime polymorphism. Okay, because your compiler is responsible for selecting those methods at runtime while you are calling those classes or executing that class, and overloading, that is your compile time polymorphism. Okay, so you have to define that how to differentiate all those, that you have to define at the time of coding, and that is compile time. If you do some mistake at the compile time, it will show you the error. So this is one example. This is override example. Yes. So this is a class animal properties having the method sound. Okay. This is top level animal class sound. Now next class is your this class cat extends animal properties, and this cat class also uses this sound method, but it is having some different message. Okay, so you may read that one. So next is, so this is, you can say sound method, but the body is different. Okay, and this sound method is overridden in the child class cat, and this body is different. Means this is overridden. This is called overriding. Okay, another, similarly it is showing that another class dog that extends this base class animal properties, and it is having another sound method. Okay, so the body of that method is different, that is overridden. Now come to overloading. Okay, so in case of your overloading, you can see this is print output, and the argument is int a. Okay, so another method is also there, print output with single argument. Here it contains one argument, having one argument. This is also having one argument, but you can see the type is different. This is integer type and this is double type. Okay, so if you are having the same number of argument, then you have to change the type of argument. So three methods with the same name, print output. The second method, print output, it contains two arguments, int a, int b. Okay. So now, while we are passing the arguments, we have to call accordingly. So when this have the object omobj. So omobj dot print output 20. 20 means one argument integer type. So this method will be called. Okay. Then 20, 30, two arguments, two integer type. That means this method will be called. Then print output 2.5 means double value. So this method will be called. So this way your compiler differentiator know how to call which method. Okay, according to its argument type. So this is the example of overloading. So through this overloading, we can achieve the polymorphism, means same one function name, but that have different form or different task. Okay. So now your task is, you write a program to find area of a circle, area of rectangle, and area of triangle using method overloading. Clear?
Yes, and there will be return type or no return type.
Return type or no return type, that depends on you. Okay. See, रिटर्न टाइप सेम होने से भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. रिटर्न टाइप के साथ ओवरलोड यहाँ पे जैसे suppose all the three methods are having same return type double, then it's fine. Okay, it mainly depends on the arguments. So you can see here, this print output is having the return type void, this print output is having the return type void. So three methods having the same return time, it's fine, but it should have it should be differentiate in type of argument or number of argument, like that. Okay, or order of argument. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So all of you write this program, write a program to calculate area of circle, rectangle and triangle using method overloading. That means your same class, one class will contain three methods with the same name, and you take the method name area. You may take the class name area calculation or something else what you want.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay. How many of you have done? Just raise your hand. Siddhant, Soumya, doing. Arnav, done. और बाकी क्या घर पे बैठ के हाथ उठाए हो क्या? राजेश, डूइंग. अभी तो यही चलेगा, डूइंग, ट्राइंग. So all of you quickly complete it. By that time, I'll take your attendance. Soumyasri,
Present, ma'am.
Anushka,
Present, ma'am.
Dipasa,
Present, ma'am.
Ayush, Anish,
Yes, ma'am.
Subham Das,
Present, ma'am.
Soumya,
Present, ma'am.
Abhijit,
Present, ma'am.
Abhishek,
Present, ma'am.
Roshan, see, while I'm taking the attendance, I'm not looking at the screen. Okay, so try to respond, try to speak. Falguni,
Present, ma'am.
Rajyot,
Present, ma'am.
Angana,
Present, ma'am.
Aniket, Anisha,
Present, ma'am.
Sanchali,
Present, ma'am.
Satabdi. Okay, Satabdi, Siddhant,
Present, ma'am.
Arnav,
Present, ma'am.
Arnav Dutt,
Present, ma'am.
Arpita, Arpan. Those are not responding. You write in the chat box, but I am not seeing that. Arpan, absent. Diya Kiran,
Present, ma'am.
You are already invisible. Okay. So again, you are not speaking. So if you want to totally invisible, then why you are attending the classes? कुछ बोलना नहीं है, कुछ नहीं करना है, तो क्लास क्यों कर रहे हो? अगर यस मैम कहने में इतना प्रॉब्लम है. गीतिका, हर्षित, एब्सेंट. मानस,
Present, ma'am.
मानस ଶୋଇପଡିଥିଲେ କି?
Ma'am, ଶୁଣୁଥିଲି.
कमलेश, कस्मिक,
Yes, ma'am.
शशांक,
Present, ma'am.
मेहुल,
Yes, ma'am.
संजोग,
Yes, ma'am.
अभिलाषा,
Yes, ma'am.
संबित,
Present, ma'am.
अंकित राज,
Present, ma'am.
निश्चय,
Present, ma'am.
प्रीति, राजेश,
Present, ma'am.
रक्तिम, रौनक,
Present, ma'am.
पुष्पेंद्र,
Present, ma'am.
आदित्य नारायण,
Present, ma'am.
ऋतिक,
Present, ma'am.
रोशन. अब ऋतिक आ जाता है, रोशन क्यों नहीं आता है? सहनाबाज,
Present, ma'am.
अनिमेश,
Present, ma'am.
शुभम,
Present, ma'am.
वैभव,
Present, ma'am.
सचिन, सचिन एब्सेंट. शुभजीत,
Present, ma'am.
सुप्रीति,
Present, ma'am.
सूरज,
Present, ma'am.
शुभम,
Yes, ma'am.
श्वेता,
Present, ma'am.
उदित नारायण,
Present, ma'am.
उरुस आलम, उरुस, विवेक,
Present, ma'am.
अंजलि,
Yes, ma'am.
सत्यव्रत,
Present, ma'am.
आदित्य नारायण, रोहन,
Present, ma'am.
छुटवंत, अनन्या,
Present, ma'am.
अनिमेश,
Present, ma'am.
अंशुमन,
Present, ma'am.
श्रुति कीर्ति, आयुष पटनायक,
Present, ma'am.
निखिलेश, तनिषा, एब्सेंट.
Excuse me, ma'am.
प्रीति,
यस मैम. मैं अंकित के बाद में आप जो बोले मुझे कुछ सुनाई नहीं दिया, तो फिर मैं प्रेजेंट बोली तो वो सुनाई नहीं दिया.
ओके.
थैंक यू मैम.
ओके. और बाकी जो चैट पे लिखे हैं मैं उनको अटेंडेंस नहीं दे रही हूँ।
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम।
हाँ
हाँ मैम मैं प्रेजेंट हूँ, वो माइक काम नहीं कर रहा था इसलिए मैं चैट बॉक्स पे लिख दी प्रेजेंट।
ओके।
यस मैम।
Harshit, your mic is not working. Harshit. Then Subham Kumar present. Subham Kumar, you responded, na? Nishchay, I called your name or not? लिखते रहो, मुझे कुछ नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है।
मैम अनिकेत का माइक ही नहीं है, काम नहीं करता उसका माइक।
अनिकेत का?
यस मैम।
अच्छा। You have to attend online classes, means you have to ready with your electronic devices. Okay. Aniket. Okay. So now how many of you have done this program? Raise your hand. Soumya, Nishchay, Siddhant, Arnav, Ayush, Abhishek Puri, Subham, Abhijitanand. Ayush, can you share your screen?
यस मैम।
Okay, share. Increase your font size. Text font size. And just press Control plus plus. One more time. Press Control plus plus. Yeah. Okay. So show from the starting. Okay, class area calculation. Okay, so those who have not done or any doubt, you can see here. One class area calculation contains 3 methods with the same name. One is your area with one argument float x, area with double x, area with float and float, 2 arguments. One argument, 2 argument, one with different type of arguments. Okay. So first one is the area of the square. Then area of the rectangle, area of the circle. Okay. Okay, I asked to do the area of triangle, you have done square. Okay, fine. So you can see the, okay, run your program. Yes. So area of the square is 25. 11, 12, that is your 132, 2.5. That is your area of the circle 19.625. Okay. Okay, you do one thing. You just, in case of your double X, you just write float X, void area double X. There you write float X.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So you can see, show the error, what error it is showing.
And two methods have same.
What it is writing, just display that error. So what it is, मुझे नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है, तुम बोलो
duplicate
चलेगा?
method area.
Duplicate method area. Okay. So you have, so that's why at compile time it will show you that error. Okay. So that's why we are saying it is your static polymorphism or static binding or compile time polymorphism, like that. So if you are giving one argument, then those two methods having one argument, that must be differ by their type. Okay. Okay, you correct it and you may stop sharing. Arnav, you share your screen. Arnav.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, it is coming. Yes. So you can see, all of you see, three methods. He has calculated area of circle, triangle, rectangle. Okay, circle, it takes integer argument. Then next one is triangle, two integer argument. Then next one is a rectangle, two double argument. Okay. So the arguments you can see 2, 4, 4.8, 4.8.
0.
4.0, 4.0. Okay. So this way, and you can see, and in these three methods, the return type is same. Okay, void, void, void. So no issue with the return type. The return type can be same, but you have to carefully take the parameters or the arguments that you have to take. Okay. Okay, you stop sharing. Just a second. Okay, so I am sharing the quiz link. So quickly give the quiz. So your quiz link in your chat box. So appear for the quiz.
मैम आज ये क्विज से स्कोर मार्क करना है की
नहीं 5 मार्क्स रो
नहीं मैम जो लास्ट स्कोर ऐसे जाता है
हो स्कोर देनी
ना
तमको देखा जाओ
मैम सरला पर करेक्ट आंसर कह देवे
हम्म Okay, so quickly submit. I am going to deactivate the link. Okay, so done. 57 स्टूडेंट्स 48 रेस्पॉन्सेज बाकी क्या है सब सो गए हैं ओके सो आई एम डीएक्टिवेटिंग इतना टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए Okay, the answers. First one, which of these keywords are used to define an abstract class? That is simply abstract with the first letter small a, not that capital one. Then the second, if a class inheriting an abstract class doesn't define all of its function, then it will be known as abstract. Okay, some few of you have given the answer, none of them mentioned. It is abstract. That also I have shown you in that example. If you are not defining it, overriding it, then it will show you error. Okay, it tells you in that at compile time that you have to override it or you have to make it abstract. So that in derived class will be called as your abstract class. Which of these packages contains abstract keyword? That is your java.lang package. Then which of these can be used to fully abstract a class from its implementation? It is your interface. Which of these access specifier can be used for an interface? That is your public. Okay, few of you have given the answer protected. If not protected, it's public. So accordingly, you think your score. Okay, so anybody is having any question or any doubt? Okay, so we'll stop here. You may leave now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.